Other interesting cultural news, you have Disney. Well, they're having an emergency meeting because their Snow White actress, she's doing what she does best and making everything worse. Now, this particular actress, what was her name? Rachel Zegler, is perhaps one of the best embodiments of the term insufferable. Everything she says, not only being hypocritical, which is all too common, you almost expect it these days from Hollywood, but it's ridiculous. She hates the things she's representing. So this is becoming more viral in Disney. Apparently, there's marketing executives telling Disney, you need to you need to calm her down or hide her. You're going to destroy this film even more than, they've already lost over $1 billion this year in all their failed movies. So I'll play, this is the first video. She's on the red carpet. I believe this is a few months back, but this is a good summary before we dive into the latest developments of, perhaps instead of a business blunder, we'll have a cultural blunder. Something fancier than just saying the word canceled. I'll have to bust out the thesaurus this weekend, one of my favorite tools. So again, this is Rachel Zegler, who's supposed to be, well, she is the new Snow White, though she's not white. And there are also no dwarves in this movie. There's one dwarf and six ambiguous folks. And again, there's not really going to be Prince Charming. But the name of the movie is still Snow White.
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Oh, that is one of the most insufferable. Not only the words. The words are insufferable as well, but her tone just oozes this insufferable. And of course, you don't want to see this because it's not pretty.
There's a big focus on her love story.
Because that's what the story's about. Like, jeez Louise.
With a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
Insufferable.
So no Prince or a different kind of Prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because,
Oh, they're going to barbify this bitch. This movie the Prince is going to be turned into a shell of a man. I guarantee it. Similar to the Barbie film, where Ken is just a moron or a misogynist, depending on what scene in the movie it is. It's never a good portrayal. Because that's what the kids need to learn, is that men and women are incompatible, and men are morons, and women strong. That'll help the kids in their education process.
We cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. Yeah. It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess.
It's also supposed to be about, I believe it's a stepmom who's jealous of Snow White's looks, which is why she poisons her. In this rendition, the stepmother or whoever, she's attractive. Everyone online is saying how she's more attractive than Snow White. Therefore, kind of nulling the whole point to the movie, where jealousy was one of the themes of the movie. She was jealous of the other girl's looks, so she poisoned her. In this case, maybe that's going to be the plot twist. They have Snow White poison the queen. I don't know. This.
Till 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
So they might just cut out the prince altogether. Which I wouldn't be surprised, given that Disney has a track record of completely bastardizing the original film and the original morals and values. I know those words are completely foreign to Disney these days, it seems. These Disney creations, and again, I'm not the first person to say this or observe this, but it almost seems like everything that they make is a copy of a copy of a copy. Which, if you take a photocopy of a photocopy, each time you do that, you degrade the image. Perhaps one of the most accurate metaphors for modern Disney production. Because they're just, again, bastardizing the original classics, just hoping you remember the name of the film, and you will pay to see it. Ridiculous. Now, there's more and more of these videos that are currently trending of Rachel Zegler, where it's showing how much more of a hypocrite than you already might have thought she was. So I believe she's on Jimmy Kimmel. So perhaps the best combination of two people, or maybe two folks who are so insufferable, perhaps they can combine into someone that's, maybe it's like a double negative where you have two negatives that actually evens out to positive. Because, Jimmy Kimmel, I think this is one of those talk show guys, also insufferable. Let's listen to that.
I get stopped for photos every time I'm online for the Snow White ride, and I have to pretend.
It's called inline, not online. If you're in line for a ride, and I know grammar these days is almost frowned upon, but if you can't even mention the proper vernacular where you are in the line for a ride. How, or maybe that's just above your intellect. I don't know. Maybe it is.
I'm like, oh God, well, crazy that we're in front of this.
Wait, how long?
It's like I'm standing there waiting for the photo op, being like,
Oh yeah.
Well, you kind of are, you know.
no, I guess
It's like
so.
if Harrison Ford.
That's why you're famous. Like, how could you become an actress and then complain that people want to get pictures with you? I would only suspect that's 38% of why they're becoming actresses. They want the attention. They want the pictures. Why would you brag about? Why would you say you don't? She seems happy.
Is that your favorite ride? I mean, that's a weird thing that you are Snow White now.
I mean,
Wow.
it's one of the original. I'm a really big Disney fan. I grew up at the Disney parks. My parents took me
She's a really big Disney fan, but she just hates all the original works. What?
every
Oh,
summer.
you did?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like, it is. It's a part of my upbringing. It's my favorite thing. So it's just one of those things
Yeah,
that comes with
don't.
the
Well,
territory.
then if you love it, don't let them scare you.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I
What?
watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on
This is another interview on the TikTok that's going viral.
the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again.
What?
So I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film. I'm a narcissist.
At least there's a little truth in that last excerpt from the Jimmy Kimmel interview. But as if that's not insufferable enough, now she's complaining about being famous. So this is, again, something that is, this is thanks to PDXFATO on the Twitter, also known as John Ford. And this is where, now she's saying she hates the character. And this got 11.7 million impressions on Twitter and 9,906 likes. Now that, granted, these, these numbers change throughout time, but that's as of right now.
Video is going to get taken out of context, and I know that at this point I can't really stop people from doing that because that's what my whole existence on the internet is just me being taken out of context and stuff, which is fine. That's what I signed up for, isn't it? But I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life, like understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make. It comes with so much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly, and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all.
Doing what? Being insufferable? She's definitely doing that. She's not stopping.
So, when I tell you
Is she crying?
that it's hard,
What's hard?
I just mean to be inside my brain.
She has a brain? Fact check that, Snopes. Let me know in the comment section what they say. Let me actually, does she have a brain? Let me Google that, or Brave that, because that's a better browser. Does Rachel Zegler have a brain? Brain. Why can't I spell? No. I'm getting a lot of research results, but they're not pertinent to that question. I would have thought by now Snopes would have that right off the bat. But let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's say there's a couple of brain cells there.
That's hard. And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it. And I don't know if that will make sense, but that's where I'm at. I'm so grateful for the things that I'm able to do. And a
Are
lot of
you?
what I'm able to do is because of you guys.
But you hate.
And I'm so unbelievably thankful for that. At the end of the day, I look at this trip and think, if somewhere like that can exist, and so can my tiny pink bedroom from New Jersey, I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats. And maybe that's a weird takeaway for this video.
Well, no one should be sending you death threats. I don't think you're. Oh, her performance is poor, but it's not meriting a death threat. Though it is interesting when a lot of these celebrities say this, they never show the receipts. Like, they never show the evidence. If there's evidence, let's go prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. Because obviously that's not appropriate conduct.
This is a life. This is real. It's filled with a lot of beautiful moments and beautiful people. I have a loving family, an incredible boyfriend that I love so much.
God.
Beautiful friends and family.
I feel bad for that guy. I can't imagine dealing with that drama, and oh, it's so insufferable. That I wonder if he's just dying inside or depressed. I don't know.
People that I miss. It's a privilege to miss people the way that I do, but it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay. Maybe that's a weird takeaway. Regardless, this is not supposed to be anything other than...
What? Yeah, and all the comments are hilariously, viscerally... Yeah. And like a lot of the comments are saying, like, you know, this is John Ford. He's saying, I dislike her because she spews feminist ideology at young girls. A lot of them are saying actress is trying to capitalize, inauthentic, she's being manipulative, they know what they're doing. I've yet to see anyone in the comment section have a positive response. Oh yeah, here's a good one. Oh God, another Meghan Markle. That's a pretty good one. That got 762 likes and 22,000 views. So you have all these videos coming out where she's saying she hates Snow White. The original content was crap. We're going to make it without the prince, basically. And without any morals or values. Now, Disney, I was about to say they're not dumb. They're not smart. But I think they realize this isn't going to help with the box office sales, if they get any box office sales at all. Now, Barbie, you can say what you want in terms of being mentally vacuous and just being extremely one-sided sexist against men, which is modern society deems okay. But Barbie, the marketing team was brilliant in terms of they didn't tell you the substance of the movie. In all the advertising campaigns when it comes to Barbie, none of it was shown. They showed you the highlight reel where all they showed was, hey, here's Barbie, movie about doll, laugh out loud. And a lot of people, and I'd say mentally vacuous mothers, took their children to go see that PG-13 rated film, which, again, was morally vacuous, mentally vacuous, had masturbation jokes. Nothing appropriate for young children, but more odd parents took their children there anyway. Which is reason 9,995 to not let your kids see any content before you preview it. It's one of those things where I used to think my parents were not cool as a kid because they would reference some websites, particularly Christian websites, where they would reveal films and they would tell you, here's the things we think are controversial, here's the reasons we think this may or may not be child appropriate, here's why it's rated PG-13, here's why it's rated PG. Now, I thank God they did that because there are such things as things that are and are not child appropriate. So I think Disney, they're having these emergency meetings and marketing companies are warning them, hey, if you don't shut her up or get her to change her attitude, you're going to lose money on this film. Now, granted, they lose money on every film recently, so it won't be a surprise if they do again. But again, if this film wants to have a chance of breaking even, they need to silence her because she's insulting the original film. She's changing the story, which, again, depending on what interview you watch, sometimes she's actually proud saying she's a part of the writing process. So they need to do some damage control. Well, 8 days a week at Disney nowadays. But let me know in the comments, do you think, how could she make the situation worse? Because it's almost as if every day goes by, she says something else to piss people off in the middle, and then more traditionally they're conservative. Which, again, conservatives buy movies, or they pay for movies too. Is when you're making a film that's supposed to be for all folks, it's not a great idea to alienate some based on their political ideology or just the ideology of having brain cells. But we'll see what goes from here. Disney, they haven't been able to pull up from this nosedive yet, but it'll be interesting to see. Time shall tell. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Trying to get again to 3,000 subscribers by the end of August, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to like and comment. Those things also really help with the algorithm to get the video shared. I also appreciate your feedback. It helps make the channel better and better. Helps improve the technologies, whether I'm putting the prompters on my monitors in front so I could keep eye contact a little bit better, or it's whether me being a little bit more bombastic with my hand gestures and my voice, and even working to try to slow down my voice, which again is something I'm always trying to work on more and more. All the feedback is greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone to stay safe and fight the good fight.